Hey, my name's Evan. I am a freelance videographer based out of Arizona. And today I wanted to share a story about a recent project that I wrapped up. It was a great experience, but there were definitely some areas of opportunity which caused me to revise my contracts moving forward, actually. So if you're a freelancer or thinking about becoming one, hopefully what I share here will help you out in the future. I focus this channel on behind the scenes and being direct while sharing my journey. So if that's something that you are after, make sure to subscribe for future content. I was contacted by a company that sells concrete repair products. They wanted to create 3 videos, so one for each product. The idea was to introduce the product, show an unboxing of what's in the kit, and demonstrate the installation steps. So on the first call, we agreed on the scope of work and budget. We decided that a smaller 2-man crew would be enough to handle this project. The plan was to shoot at the client's warehouse where we could stage a cracked cinder block wall and a cracked concrete floor. So the next step was jumping on a Zoom call with the team that would actually oversee the project on the day of production. On that call, we worked out the finer details, like who would be on camera, what we needed to highlight, and the pacing of each video. I was given full creative control, which is always nice, but that also adds an extra layer of responsibility to make sure everything runs smoothly. The warehouse space we would film in wasn't glamorous, but it was, about a 15 by 30 foot section, and it was functional for what we needed it for. When the production day arrived, I brought Cody with me. He handled both PA duties and served as a second camera operator. With small crews, it's all about versatility. So, I wear many hats. Cody wore many hats that day, and, you just kind of get things done. For the cameras, we used both of my Blackmagic 6K Pros on tripods since we didn't need any complex camera movement. Lighting-wise, we shut off the warehouse lights to maintain full control of the space, and I used a Nanlite 300B Mark II through a 6x6 diffusion frame as the key light. And then we used Cody's Amaran 200 as a fill light on the opposite side. And then also I had 2 Lightstorm 60Xs for rim lighting behind the subject. Audio was handled by both a lav mic on the Talent and then a boom mic just in case. The warehouse was hot and there was some wind. We had an open garage bay doors on the opposite side. And so we kept a blimp on the boom mic just to keep things clean. One of the key values I try to bring is helping the on-camera talent feel comfortable. These weren't professional actors. They were company staff who know the product but needed a little coaching to deliver their lines smoothly. I get that it might be a little uncomfortable to kind of be, in that mindset sometimes. But really, the person on the other side of the camera, and actually both Cody and myself, we know nothing about this product. So if anything, you are kind of teaching us and you're teaching the people who watch this. And that's kind of the mindset you want to be in, is these guys really don't know, so they're not judging me on if I say something the right way. They just need to learn how to use this product, right? With patience and a few retakes, we got it done. I also have this trick where if someone's getting stuck on their script or what they need to say, we move on to another part of the script and then circle back to the tricky part later. This keeps everything flowing and reduces the stress on the talent, and I find that it just makes them sound much more confident after everything's cut together. During the shoot, we encountered a few unexpected delays. So some of the props that we were expecting to be ready on arrival weren't quite ready. And one of the team members, who was one of the on-camera talent, actually ended up needing to step away at the start of production for some unrelated and unforeseen phone calls that they had to hop on. And so we just had to switch the timeline around a little bit and start with something that we were expecting to do later in the day. On top of that, they had some equipment trouble with a concrete saw. So our timeline really did start to stretch early on, but it got kind of progressively worse as the day went forward. The warehouse was about a 2-hour drive from where I'm based. So with travel factored in, our 10-hour day was pretty tight. Now, I knew that with 6 hours of actual production time for setup and filming, we would be okay, but we would only be okay if there were small delays. The way our timeline was built out, we built in about a half hour of planned delays, but that was not nearly enough. So that is something that you just really can't plan for. You hope everything works out that you plan on your timeline, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. When it became clear that we needed more time, I spoke with one of the lead team members on site, and they agreed, and they were super helpful in saying that we could extend into overtime, so to get that last bit of filming done. So by the time that we wrapped and drove back, there was about a 14-hour day instead of the 10. So we had about 4 hours of overtime, and that was something that we were going to send an invoice over for. Again, we had prior approval. After filming, when I invoiced for the overtime, that's where the confusion really started, and that's kind of where the main issue from this production occurred. So my contract mentioned a full day, but it didn't specify the 10-hour limit in clear terms. While I did mention it during calls and we had a timeline created beforehand, it wasn't written in black and white. Also, the person who okayed the overtime wasn't the same person who hired us, so I was told later that they weren't actually authorized to make that call when it came to billing. So I'll be upfront. I've never been in a situation where one person within the company approved something only for someone else to rescind the approval after. So I sought advice from other filmmakers and considered my options. This is a great tip for anyone in business. Find a group online within your industry so that when you aren't 100% sure of your next move, you can reach out for other opinions. Ultimately, I asked myself, was this an intentional mistake? And no, I don't believe that it was. The delays were out of my team's control, sure, but I could have been more vocal about our timeline early on when the delay started. And the overtime approval was a well-intentioned effort to keep us on track, but the approval process wasn't made clear. So I decided to drop the overtime invoice, and I accepted it as a learning opportunity. To avoid this going forward, I revised my contract, and I want to thank the Commercial Videographer Facebook group that gave me a bunch of different perspectives and some really helpful solutions. My contract now clarifies what a full day is and included procedures for overtime. I also added a clause requiring a secondary decision maker to be listed so that if the primary contact isn't available, I'll know exactly who to approach for other decisions. In the end, this project was a success, and I'm really happy with how everything turned out. The client was great to work with, and it was a fun shoot. Even with the bumps along the way, I'm glad the situation helped me improve my process, and I hope sharing this helps you tighten up your own contracts and communication. So thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe.